Molto bene, esplode con la villa del Espelero. Oh, I'm good. I'm here yet.
What are you saying?
Yes, sir. It's a great time to be here. It's a great time to be here. It's a great time to see the global game at play here. Just as I kind of thought it was going to happen and go down, what do we see? We see Atlantis handle their business handily in their first two games of the day. And I'll tell you something. Everything just absolutely seems to be on point. Handling Africa 71 to 50, which I thought was been a lot closer than I thought it would have necessarily have been, right? And then coming right back, and then handling Oceania 87 to 44, which means they are not only offensively on point, they are defensively just shutting everybody down. So let's see how that carries over now against Europe, who's had a exact same situation. Well, not exactly the same situation, but winning by 18 over Asia Pacific earlier, and then coming back and losing, unfortunately, to Latin America. So let's see. Atlantis will appear to be the odds-on favorite again, as we talked about all this week. But you know what? Europe is showing something early by dragging Atlantis in the mud, and that's going to have to be their game plan all day.
Hey, you told the story, Maestro. You told the story. Atlantis absolutely blowing out the competition, ripping and running in this tournament so far in the SimWorld Hoops Global Challenge. What Europe is going to want to do, they're going to want to slow this game down. They're going to want to draw double teams just like that, get the ball out to Ty Merker for open threes. But right now, it looks like it's going to be an even contest here. Maestro.
Absolutely. It's definitely like, we say, the phrase, what does Europe want to do? They want to pull Atlantis into a phone booth and make them feel like they're fighting an octopus right now. So how do they go about doing that? They need to slow up Atlantis' transition game, first and foremost. They need to make sure that Atlantis is having to work for every inch of the floor that they want to get. And ultimately, what they need to do is capitalize on every possession being a positive possession, meaning either great ball movement that leads to points, or solid transition that leads to points, or something that's going to keep Atlantis off balance.
Ivanov working in the post. Drawing the double team at will. That looks like that's going to be the strategy for King Guts and his team. Maestro,
Absolutely.
We got a break in the game here. We're going to take a break right along with them here as we work through our technical difficulties. Appreciate everyone staying tuned with us. We'll be back right after this. It feels good to be back here in Barcelona.
Absolutely.
I say back, Maestro. I've never, in all of my 12 years, I've never been here.
We're gonna fix it. I'm taking you out after the games today, babe.
Hey, I think I'm gonna lock myself in the hotel room. I say 12 years because wifey told me, "Hey, don't you go over there being a dog." And I said to myself, "Hey, I had to count myself in dog years. I'm locking myself up. I'm not gonna do it."
Don't worry. Listen, don't worry, Miss Yells. I'm gonna take care of him. He gonna be all right. He gonna be all right.
We see here. That's Zeke LaFleur with the ball. He's going to put up a shot. Last tournament we got to see him in, he performed very well. Very well.
Yes, he did.
He is going to be up against much more size in this one.
But he strikes me as one of those players, that doesn't bother him. He's willing to get in there. He's willing to play people, as what I say, at their belt buckle. And that means I'm going to get in there, I'm going to get right inside you and make you have to work around me.
Maestro, we're going to talk again about your entendres. They have so much meaning. They have so much meaning outside the game of basketball. Timeout here for Atlantis. Not liking how this is going so far. Coach Kusa, who's actually drawn a lot of praise from SimWorld U circles, people thinking he may be making the jump to college this upcoming offseason, Maestro.
He definitely has the coaching ability that, I should say coaching ability. I apologize. That came out wrong. He definitely has the coaching awareness and the acumen to make that game work. I think his style of coaching works on every level. And I think the way that he likes to teach and guide the game in terms of units, I also think speaks the same way.
Yeah, for certain. And as we talk about doing it on all levels, we're going to talk about you all here in the chat. Tune in live. We need you to do it on all levels. We're trying to take this thing in the words of Chris Rock on an old Kanye album. We're trying to take this to a whole nother level. And we need you all support. I'm so busy. I don't have 3 minutes in a day. My God, y'all are all billionaires then. At least showing your way to it, and I hope so. But yeah, show your support, man. Chime in, comment on social media if you've enjoyed your experience here in SimWorld. If you haven't enjoyed your experience, get on social media, say what you got to say. You know everybody likes to complain. If you had time to comment here, we need your social media so we can spread the word. But furthermore, we are back to SimWorld Prep action. JK47 with the ball. Maestro, you mentioned Coach Kusa, Coach K, being able to do it on all different levels. If you notice here, his normal starters did not start this game. They're all willing to come off the bench. We're seeing Bjarni Johnson for the first time. We're seeing JK47. I struggle to say his name, but we're seeing big time put back there. Oh my goodness. That big time. Was that Nikolai Vladimirovich? Yeah, but you see these kids willing to sacrifice, come off the bench, all different kinds of lineups for this Atlanta squad.
I tell you something, and Jokubas Karanauskas is the typical player who's going to show up and do whatever his coaches need. And I tell you, good coaches get that out of you. I can honestly tell you, I never even heard thought or complaint or anything about who's starting and who's not starting until I got to college ball. Because every coach had before that says, we're going to start who we start, we're going to play who we play, and the fact that you did what the coach felt was best is the reason that we would win and bring home those little bitty trophies that turned into rings when we got to high school, because we had that mentality of whatever I got to do. Starting don't matter, but when I get on the floor, that's when I got to make my money count.
They say you know your role and shut your mouth.
That's right.
And you're going to get a wrestling reference from me.
Bring it, baby.
Speaking of The Rock, another brick goes up. Both of these teams struggling offensively. Or we could call it great defense, as we see Bjarni Johnson there with a great contest.
Yes. Yes. It's funny. We always, yes, we always tend to start off the day talking about the two games, who does it favor, whose pace of play, et cetera, et cetera. So we always tend to go with that. And I'm just going to say something with this particular game. Atlanta's winning big the way they did across the table, and you're coming in having already tasted the loss. There's kind of a freedom of information act in their brain where they're not, and I'm going to say they're not as stressed as they might necessarily be worried about that first loss. So they have a little bit of freedom going up against, I'm not going to say Goliath in a bad way, but a team that's expected to keep doing well as they've been doing all day.
There we saw a beautiful pass from Tom Burka. He dumps it off, and his teammate Vladimirovich unable to finish there, costing him an assist. But we've got a great matchup here so far. Tie ball game. Marcelo Raboa with the step back says, "Take that." Not sure how you say that in Spanish.
I think that translates any way you said it. Step back, trick.
Oh goodness! I will say this.
Had to get my blaze in.
For all of our fans out there, they may be saying, "Hey, there's a slew of missed shots here," but every shot is being contested so far. Every shot.
Yes. Basic technique. So to our fans who are watching, talking about the missed shots, basic defensive technique. I don't press you until I see you go to your shoulders with the ball. Now, if you just move the ball above your head, oh, look at that, contested once again, block party by myself. Come on now.
Press. Cardi don't need no press, but SimWorld does. We got to cut the commercial. We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back with more action after this.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät und das Gerät. Überlebensradar.
Mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you over? We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
Second quarter action here, Maestro. Ended that last quarter with some triple Bs. 3 blocks in a row.
3 blocks in a row. Deal with it.
Deal with it, indeed.
And it just shows you Marcus Jorgensen of the Jorgensen triplets just stayed in that defensive play, used his leverage, and just kept it going. But I'm telling you something right now, Yales. Atlanta's, I have a feeling there's a heater waiting in them because the way they've been scoring all day, this slow pace is not going to stick.
You don't think so?
No, sir, I do not. Like I said, Europe is going to start knocking them down with no problem.
Tasso's coasting, knocking it down right on cue. But Maestro, This Atlanta squad is one of the better shooting teams in all of SimWorld Prep, season after season. This season, no different as we see Alfonso Pereira knocking it down.
Well, you're talking about a team that's first in points per game with almost 80, and of course second in field goal percentage because they take smart shots, and they have a great transition game in terms of how they, and also their defensive game is not bad, being fourth in opponents' points per game. So they are a complete team on both sides of the course, but I think the difference always comes to me with Atlanta's how they handle their transition game.
I'll tell you what, Europe may want to come out of this full court press. I don't think they have the athleticism and the speed to keep up with this Atlanta squad. 16-18 here. Costa from Greece, the last 6 points, 2 by 3, by way of 3 here for SimWorld Europe with no Andre Ivanov on the court. Atlanta's picking up the pace here like Picante. Costa again for 3. Can't get it to go.
Yep, starting to rush, starting to get into a psychological game. We should be scoring more. We feel like we should be scoring more. We feel like we need to score more. When you shoot with emotion, again, you do yourself a disservice.
Yanni Johnson can't get it to go, but Guido Bomazzini there with the follow. 6'6", 214, big man in the middle. Looks like we got ourselves, as Marsh would say, a dandy today, Maestro.
My man Marsh.
What's
Love
sticking
it.
out for you?
Well, right now what's sticking out for me is the fact that Atlantis appears to not be able to execute their offensive game. And yes, it's contestation that's going on the defensive
I'm sorry,
side
what
of
did you
Europe.
just say?
I'm sorry, I pulled out
What
the legal
was
word
that?
on you there. They pull out the legal word on you there, being over here in the spine. Yeah. The idea of every time Atlantis makes a move, there's a body there, there's a hand there, there's an arm there, there's something there to impede their matriculation to the basket.
my
There you
God.
go. There's another word for you. We're going to get it all day, baby. We're going to get it all day. I brought the thesaurus.
I love it. Matriculation.
Right, baby.
Sheesh. That absolutely sounds like something I've seen in Magic City one night.
Here you go. What you know? Who you with?
About matriculation. Sure. I just didn't know we could say that on air. But of course, we are not stateside. Anything is possible here. The big Russian back in the game, Andre Ivanov, who's been problems for everybody ever since he's come to SimWorld Prep. You see he draws an instant double team there. They're going to go right back and feed him again on the repost double team. Restarts. And that's the thing when you have a big man that you have to double team like that, Maestro. You see there, Shaquille O'Neal used to talk about this all the time. What's wrong with getting that ball? You don't have to force it out. Kick it back out to the point guard, reset, and then everyone has to rotate from there. You get easy buckets from dumping it in the post. Speaking in the post, there's Zeke LaFleur with the pretty spin move.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's right on point. That's why I love my bigs that can facilitate, that can make sure that they know where their teammates is. And oh, by the way, I'm gonna nerd out on you for a little bit here. Yeah, as you said, you ain't nerded out already. Yeah, I'm gonna nerd out on you again. The whole point of base principles, where the floor reacts, where the ball is, allows me to, as a big, if I get it in, I should be able to make a pass without looking, just like an NFL quarterback, because I know where my team is supposed to be.
No double coverage for Ivanov there. He settles for a fader. Can't get it to go. Good
think it
defense
surprised
by one of the Jorgensens.
Yes. You know what? Yes, I think it's surprising. I think he was mentally feeling for another body to be there, and it just didn't quite happen.
Perhaps you're right. Tassos Costa finding himself open. He's getting every shot he wants so far in this one. Then we're going to see Marcus Jorgensen says, I can do the same splash for 3.
I'm glad they got numbers because they look so much alike, all three of them.
Marcus, of course, the adopted brother here for the Jorgensens. I'm glad I got to read one of those stories coming out from ACA Hoops. Maestro, you're a fool. Marcus. That's how R. Kelly says Marcus.
There you go. Marcus.
Zeke LaFleur working in the post on Suslov. A lot of players coming off screens. A lot of players that can shoot for this Atlanta squad. Still not exactly rolling from deep. Great pass there. Marcelo Raboa again. As Europe continue to live on the edge, Maestro, playing this full-court press.
Yes, they are. I don't blame them, though. Listen, I don't blame them. I said it early. That's what I would do. I would make sure that I put them in a position to have to fight for every inch of the floor. And look at that steal, making it pay off.
Ty Merca. And then he's going to put up the three. That one is
breakaway
way
three.
Off.
The breakaway three.
It broke away all right. It broke away. Broke away like a GNX. Shout out Kendrick. Great defense there, but more impressed how both of these teams are staying composed. When a play does not go their way, they come back down and they take a quality shot like that when they're in the post. Merca just can't get it to go. You said Atlantis is not playing their game, Maestro. Looks like they're getting there.
Yeah, they're getting there. It's going to take a minute, but you know something? Europe has got some serious fight there, and what's the great equalizer when you know that your Joes aren't quite like their Joes? A three-point shot.
Zeke LaFleur is on the double team. 27-27. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Bucket, Jacob Chandler. Known to be a spot-up shooter and a good defender.
Yes, he did. He did everything right with that. He caught it on platform, remained on platform, didn't rush, looked like a free throw shot that he just left the ground for.
Marcelo Raboa, seemingly the only player for Europe right now that can finish at the rim, does it again.
He's taking advantage of Atlantis being slow in their defense in their defense rotation. So if you're gonna leave me open floor and I don't see an incoming bogey, so to speak, coming from my 3 o'clock, I'm just gonna keep going until I get to the rim, and that's high basketball IQ because that's what you do.
That's just good shot making there.
Yes, it is.
From Doug Jorgensen. I can't keep up with them all, Maestro. I cannot keep up with all the Jorgensens. I feel like I'm talking about a lotion commercial.
What are you thinking about?
Avenal missing again inside. Good defense from SimWorld Atlantis. Maestro, when you were in high school, did you ever play against a kid that was 7'2"?
Not 7'2". I had a couple of 7-footers, 171, but never a 7'2". And I know there is a difference. That 1 inch makes a big difference when you're like, with me in high school, I played at 6'4" to 6'5". So when go inside and I'm trying to put my elbow in places that you shouldn't put your elbow in public, that 1 inch makes a big difference. So it obviously looked like I was being a bully.
I totally forgot that Maestro played ball back when there were Nephilim and Giants. So halftime report here, Maestro. Maestro, very close game here. What does either team have to do to pull away?
Europe needs to keep doing what they're doing and just capitalize on the offensive side. That full court defense is obviously slowing Atlantis up enough that they can't get their transition game into gear. And I'll tell you something, the work that's happening there between, even though Ivanov hasn't completely found his groove yet, what's happening Suslov has not completely found his groove yet. We know that he capped 15 and 15 in the 2 games earlier, so he's going to be there, right? But on the other side, Atlantis needs to find a way to not only limit what Europe is doing with one and done, they need to push it faster before they can set up the press.
Maybe you're right. We got more action after this. We got more games. It's SimWorld Prep Saturday. Keep it locked.
make it two-possession game, and they will.
Definitely gonna have to go elsewhere.
Oh!
I would like to invoke my right to the Fifth Amendment to not incriminate myself. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes. I know, and what that tells me that the idea here of what exactly is going on with the offensive game, I think, is an effect or byproduct, of what Europe is doing defensively. Blowing up the transition game is pulling some of the players out of their flow, like Bjarne Johnson, and he's not able to capitalize on his athleticism and his twitch. Yes, it is actually. You're absolutely right. And now, what's going to happen is Europe needs to keep it in. They need to keep Atlantis in sight, which means they need to keep it at least around no more than mid double digits in the teams. Once it gets there, I think they're going to be in trouble. But if they can maintain this press game all day, they're going to give themselves a fighter's chance. Now, they might not have any legs for the next game, but at least they can make something happen this game. Do the Dougie. Doug Jorgensen with the move and the flow, B. Oh my goodness gracious. Maestro does talk to himself a lot, I'm just saying, but trust me, Yells is with me.
No, you don't. Cut it out. Yeah, but you were still talking to yourself, man.
My man Tony Henderson's worried about me. My man Tony about to do a wellness check.
Maestro and the mid. The mids are different over here, man. Tom Merker with the ball. Throws it up to Suslov. Beautiful pass. Saw him open. Saw that he had cut and beat his man, that he had the height advantage to deliver the ball right where it needed to be.
That's why you do not move and without knowing what's around you. It's really easy. When you're a big man, catch the ball, look on the floor. If you see any other tennis shoes, that means you got more people with you. If you don't see anybody, that means you're by yourself. Do what you do, boo.
Zeke LaFleur backing down. Timeout here for Atlantis. Maestro.
Yes, sir.
You want to give something away?
Let's give something away.
Can't do it till we have 50 live viewers. Right now we only have 28. We know people tune in, hit the check-in button, leave out. Guess what? We're tracking how long you're in these games, and you're not getting credit if you cheat the system. Sucker! But guess what? If you stay here and we run these numbers up to 50 live viewers, we're going to give away some EMs. The 50K EM, look, that's something we have clearance to do over and over.
Uh-oh.
Not sure if it's going to be broken up, how often that goes out. But yeah, we get that. We get 50 live viewers in the stream. This is across all platforms. That is YouTube. That is Facebook. That is LinkedIn. That is that's X. Hop on X. Soon to be Instagram and TikTok. You want to get on Twitch, do your thing, do what you want. But we need you here on YouTube. That's where you're gonna do your check-in. And let's run up some numbers, man. Let's run them up.
Yeah,
Let's
do it.
up some comments. Let's up
That's
some
right.
DMs.
Tell everybody else to F around and find out.
Maestro, you ever listen to Future?
Do I listen to Future? Not as much as I should. I ain't gonna lie. I like Gorilla. You know, I'm there.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Maestro be in the trap.
That's right.
Maestro is in the trap, but we're here in Barcelona right now. 4-point game, SimWorld Europe. Trailing SimWorld Atlantis. We've got two teams that play relatively similar, different play styles. Beautiful move from Tosa. Man, look, I'm going to struggle from Costa Rosa. I'm going to struggle to say that every time. I don't know.
Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it.
Correa here with the ball is going to kick it out to Marcus Jorgensen. Looks I may have misnamed a couple earlier. Bjarni Janssen getting on to the board now. He drops his first, and it's a 3. Once he gets rolling, it gets scary.
Yes, because he is definitely the quintessential model of the street shoot. Oh, look at the hands there off the bounce. That's how you get the steal. You catch it off the bounce, boom, boom.
Oh!
Wait
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Nikolai Vladimirovich with some highlight moments in this game so far. He says, planters, anyone?
That's right. Yes, he is.
Not salty or plain. Tom Merker coming back down. It's a 5-point game. Lead extended here for SimWorld Atlantis. As we talk about some of the prettier plays from SimWorld Europe, Atlantis just comes down and they take care of business. No flash, no frill. 5-point game. They take what the defense gives them and they convert.
It looks the same in the box score, baby.
Yes, it does. Raboa from deep. Can't get it to go. Atlantis now with the chance to extend this lead. Pereira with the ball now.
Yells, if Atlantis gets their half-court game set up like this, they're doing the 2-man offset single out. If that happens all day, Europe is going to have problems.
Well, they're having problems right now. The spacing is looking good for SimWorld Atlantis, and that's what they always rely on. Space you out. They have players that can drive. They have Bjarni Janssen, who is a top 5 prospect for SimWorld U right now. Maestro, we haven't even had a chance to talk about. There are a lot of scouts in the building. Made the international trip there as my man Guido. Or excuse me, Sean O'Reilly. Sean O'Reilly throwing it down. But there's lots of scouts in the building. These SimWorld U scouts made the international travel trip. Are you aware? I know you always have some insight of some of the schools that are here in the building today.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you know who's looking at these type of players are some of the very teams that we talked about last night. Teams like Gonzaga. Teams that are looking for that team concept play. You know, we saw a couple of them last night. We talked about it, right? Gonzaga. We talked about Wake Forest. We even talked about the way Texas is changing their game up right now. Those schools right now are really curious about adding on the big and mobile component, and that's what they're doing. And oh, by the way, for those, I mean, we know it's early back in the States for a lot of people. Here in Spain, it is nearly 5:47 in the afternoon. So that means it's going to be nighttime, be the right time when it's good, when you guys are having your lunch.
Hey, it's going to be a time for something. As Yarny tries a little something there, cannot get it to go. Yeah, a lot of these SimWorld U scouts, though, they are here and there in full effect with their notepads, Maestro. I've heard a few grumblings here. I keep my mouth shut. What I do know is A lot of these SimWorld schools like the credit they get on international players.
Yes.
Goes
Yes.
back to the universities and puts
Yes.
more funds into the athletic department. It does not cost international. It pays to bring in international
Exactly.
players.
Yes,
So,
it does.
beautiful
Oh!
pass. Can't convert.
Great. Yeah, beautiful alley. Didn't quite get the oop.
How quickly Atlantis turns the switch on, man. A 10-point game. It was even all throughout. Now it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, and you know they're finding a way. Oh, look at that defensive right there. Got the foul. They found a way to beat the press before it got set up like we talked about. And they also give you credit on something else. Once they were able to do that, Yales, just like you said, they started making their buckets count. Totally important. Even in Spain.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize there. Yes, I'm just jacked on. Even in Spain, the crowd is into it, man.
They love
Prep ball.
basketball
Come
over
on.
here, man.
Come on, somebody.
Hey, look, basketball's blowing up, man. It is such a global sport now. I know some of the
Yeah.
numbers have been down for SWBA, but that's because SimWorld TV hasn't picked up coverage on it yet, is what I'm going to say.
Right.
As soon as we pick up coverage, I do believe that that's happening in the next year or two, SWBA coverage on SimWorld TV. And we know the numbers are going to go up for sure.
100%. 100%. And oh, by the way, a knowledgeable crowd past what in the United States is called soccer. Over here it's still called football. But a knowledgeable crowd here in this country about all sports. Even back in the day, a little insight on Maestro, had a chance to try for the Barcelona Dragons. That was a European pro football team over here. No, I didn't make it because Maestro sucks. But I tell you what though, everybody was still talking about the possibility of the Olympic basketball team at the time made their first run into what was called the Olympic Sweet 16.
Well, 3 quarters down, one left in this semifinal, another semifinal to go, and then we're on to the championship. SimWorld Global Hoops Challenge. Back after this.
Up all night, putting work till it's daylight. Yeah, inspiration ain't required. I go hard in the pain even when I'm tired. 'Cause tomorrow ain't promised. I give my all, ain't nothing left. No tomorrow ain't promised. There's no tomorrow, no tomorrow, no.
We're back. More action, Maestro.
And you know what, Yels, we get into. I'm gonna quote my man B-Ron. Put up those fours. And when you hear that, Yels, tell me what's going through your mind right now at this particular point of the game.
Hey man, I clicked over to see who all we had in the chat, who was viewing live here on SimWorld TV. I saw a little promo for my show, Hard in the Paint, coming up at 4 o'clock today Eastern. Make sure you're tuned in live for that. It is an interactive show, and I was just listening to that intro, man. Handpicked. I love that intro for those who don't listen to words unless they're rapped with auto-tune on them. That young lady said, up all night, putting work till it's daylight. Inspiration ain't required. I go hard in the paint, even when I'm tired. Because tomorrow ain't promised. Oh man, it's such a, hey, that was a hand-picked intro for a reason, Maestro. Right now, Europe needs to go hard in the paint too. They got two of the biggest guys in all of SimWorld Prep, two of the most skilled guys, and they need to do nothing other than go hard in the paint. Stop settling for the jumper. Forget that double team. Put your elbows high and just go through somebody. Like
Get off me, Trick. Get off me, Trick. There you go, Blaze. Oh my goodness gracious.
Rick, excuse me, Maestro. You saying Rick's name. Yarny Janssen, a lot of these guys are proof. Back in the day, they'd see a Euro player. You think back to the Bulls and how they did Tony Kukoc, and they would call them softer players. Even now today, you hear people have things to say about Luka Doncic, who does all the whining and complaining, but he's not. He's far from soft, and he can show you that. Well, how has the perception changed on international players, their toughness, and their ability to absorb contact?
I think Yales, and that's an excellent question, by the way, as always. I think the reality of the game in terms of, so a lot of the European players back in the day brought that football or soccer mentality to the game, when you see a lot of people hitting the ground, fouls and stuff like that, exaggerating to get the call. And some of them brought that mentality to their court game, right? But then over the course of time with more international games, the Olympics games spreading out the way they did, international World Cup games spread the way they did, the European players got an opportunity to not only go to clinics and camps from an earlier age. They didn't have that sort of gene inside their head, and they realized it's okay to put an elbow into somebody. It's okay to put my foot on somebody. It's okay to do that. And once that started happening, you started seeing, I think, more of that European rough and toughness play out in the game right now with that beautiful downtown three. Need a phone card to make that happen.
Tell you what, this strategy by Coach Guts, it's taken a lot of guts to go to this strategy, in my opinion. The full court press from an unathletic team, the trapping. I think this has all been to their detriment. He has not put his team in best position. We see them get beat down the court right there. Not in love with the strategy.
Textbook. Take 3 passes down the court. That's what you work on in practice all the time. And guess what? When you see the other defense slowing down, because you take advantage of that and you make it count.
Suslav going to work. Looks like they're finally finding their offense and who they should go to here in the fourth quarter in the paint, but defensively, just not getting it done so far.
You know, the secret of being the not so talented player, me, going against the super talented player, Yales, is I would know on every possession I'd have to win a quarter inch. If I could just win a quarter inch on every possession, I could slow Yales down enough to maybe lessen his point output for the day or his output for the day. And I knew sometimes it meant sacrificing other parts of my game, but it meant my team would have the opportunity to do better. And if my job was to jump on the Yale's grenade, so to speak, I was going to do that. But it takes a lot out of you, though. It takes a lot out of you, and it's hard to maintain for 4 quarters.
Todd Merker drawing the foul. It was a very hard foul.
Yes, it was.
And
Yes, it was.
These Spaniard referees, as we talked about contact here, did not hit the flagrant foul button. I just want to take a minute, Mike. So let's talk about runs in the game of basketball. So often I see these kids, I see everyone talk about, the game's over. The game's over. Give it up. Oh, it's a blowout in 10 points or 8 points. Maestro, what do you think about that?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I don't even hear that, because the reality of it is, it isn't over until the clock goes down to 00.00.00.00, and we're on the bus. That's when I start thinking the game is over. And any athlete that cannot talk about themselves being a competitor. I don't care how many points you have up on me. I'm going to come at you hard all the time and make you work. If you want to beat me by 50, you're going to have to sweat and fight for that 50 points to beat me, because you're going to know when you hit the shower and see those bruises and feel and smell my sweat on you, you're going to know that I made you work for it.
8 points is just 3 possessions in today's game.
Thank you. And oh, by the way, if you give me a foul on a 3-point shot, it's 2. Exactly.
2 stops. Maestro, you said they're going to smell your sweat. You know, one time I played against this kid. I can't say what he smelled like on air. But I play defense, and I mean, that's we talk. I love playing defense, and to play defense, you got to get physical. You got to put your body on somebody. You got to lean on. You got to push him around. Maestro, the older of this kid, when I went home, I still smelled like him, and I couldn't get the smell off me. I could have saved this for Hard in the Paint. It's not a long story, and I don't want to mentally relive it. Oh, bro, I took a shower. I took lots of showers. I used the scrub brush, and I think it was just mentally, it was in my head. It was a whole day and a half. I was like, good Lord. Oh, absolutely. We had to go back and run that same tournament the next day. I didn't guard him. It was probably one of the few times in my life I didn't play defense. Every time I got switched onto him, I switched right off. I could not do it. I couldn't overcome it, man.
One of my best buddies, one of my favorite teammates, Rodney Butler. Yeah, I said his name out loud. He would not bathe during season for that very reason, because he wanted to be annoying on defense and annoying on offense. Where I shower 5 times a day, but I also put on heavy cologne, so that way you knew where I was. I wanted to be in their nightmares when I was playing defense.
Genius of your teammate. Also disgusting.
Oh, it was.
That is so nasty, Maestro.
And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you, me and this guy, we won 2 city.
I bet you did.
So 3 city, 3 city, 2 district state championships, and 3 state high school basketball championships. Because that guy right there, but by the end of the season, because we played so many games, he was always in the back of the bus by himself.
I bet he was. I bet he was. 8-point game here. Only just under 4 minutes left here. Time's starting to slip away from Europe now.
Yeah.
Defensively, their strategy has not gotten it done.
No.
They're going to have to figure something else out here. Raboa can't get it to go. Aaron 3.
Because when you work so hard on defense, Yales, what happens on offense? You're tired. It's hard to get your legs into those shots.
And I think this is where the clash of styles here is going to start to shift into Europe's favor. If they could have imposed their will defensively, I know this Atlantis defense is looking really good on their double teams, though. Coach had them well prepared, but if Europe would have been able to impose their will on the inside and overcome these double teams and this trapping defense, this could have been a different game. But right now, Zeke LaFleur doing his best Shaq impersonation.
Zeke LaFleur.
Oh, the big crepe.
The
The big crepe in the building, throwing it down, big time move.
Oh, molto bene, molto bene. That's Italian. I'm sorry. That's not Spanish.
I don't know the difference either way. Someone get me my bread, butter, and my oil. That's all I need in a glass of wine.
The oil? Hey, now.
Hey, we're over here. We have to shout out Coach Myron, the former coach of Run DMV. We have to stop by and see what he's up to. I hear he's got a restaurant over here we may want to check out.
Let's head, baby. Let's head. Zeke LaFleur is just living in the penthouse today, baby.
Living La Vida Loca? I think that's
living
French.
Yes, it's French enough for me, dude.
Getting out of hand here, Todd Murphy looking for the screen. They're going to throw it over to Ivanov. This slow pace that Europe runs is not going to get it done. Ivanov struggling now. He has struggled mightily against that double team.
Yes.
Very talented kid, but clearly has to continue to work on the IQ to know how to manage double teams, when to pass out, when to take that baseline angle, or when to power through the double team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, and not to offend the green V-neck and shorts on the sideline, I'll tell you, one of the things that how we do it is you have to know where your teammates are.
You have to know. I'll tell you what, you got to know that on Tuesday, starting at 8, we have shifted schedules here on SimWorld TV. Hopefully we can get more viewership as we've gone into primetime coverage the network has allowed. East Coast game starting at 8 o'clock. We got the Dookie Blue Devils. If you hate Cooper Flag because you're an absolute hater, which most of you are, and you want to see him possibly go down at the hands of Angelo Roman and company, Temple. Tune in 8 o'clock, SimWorld TV. First of a double header where we'll also be seeing Texas taking UNLV. I almost blew that one there. Texas taking UNLV for the second game in that one. More than Nat Hawkins coming off of a historic UNLV game in triple overtime. Make sure you guys are tuned in for that one on CBS, being simulcast on SimWorld TV.
Absolutely. I'm going to make a quick note. Which game is Coach Assad Drayton calling? So I know to show. So I know to show up at the second overtime.
Double
we got you, Coach. We got you, Coach.
I was in his ear the whole time.
We got you, Coach.
69-53 Atlantis. Maestro, so let me ask you this. Atlantis, seemingly, they're going to hold on to this. How much is the question? They've blown out every opponent in this tournament, including this one, if this holds. Going back to their last tournament, they were highly successful. I believe they have the highest dance score in all of SimWorld Prep right now. I'll check my notes on that one.
Yes.
What kind of momentum they have going into the championship, and what does that mean even after this tournament?
They know how to play with the lead, because once they get it, they don't look back. And what does that tell you? That tells you that when they get comfortable, when they start smelling that distance between you and them, they are gone. And they don't wait for you either. They just do what they got to do. And there's nothing to stop confidence when it's pervasive from the first man on the team to the last coach on the bench.
To the last coach?
Last coach on the bench. That's right.
You said it, you meant it.
They're doggone right.
Zeke LaFleur, 17 points. Marcus Jorgensen, 10. Everybody on the team has scored other than Jacubas Koronauskas, who is very well known for his defense. I don't think he gives a damn that he hasn't put a point on the board.
He does not care at all. He is too busy. He's too busy putting out all the concrete for all the bricks they're making everybody else shoot.
Hey, beautiful performance here from Atlantis, and this one on national broadcast TV. Staying in the vein of the international flavor. To quote my man Dikembe Mutombo, total team effort. Total team effort. You think he was ever not hoarse?
No. I think he was born. I think when he first came out, he went, ugh. I'm born. I'm crying. And wagging his finger.
Longest fingers in the game. 15-point lead. Think Atlantis is probably going to let this one go here. Another win for SimWorld Atlantis. Coach Kuster, Bjarne Johnson, and company. We got more action after this, though, Maestro. What everybody need to do?
They need to check in. They need to come back. They need to engage. And they know SimWorld's the only place where you can see the game and be the game.
More action coming up after this, folks. You heard Maestro. He told you what to do. So do it!
Won't go. Rebound Bosch. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
Now there's a steal by Murr. Underneath the DJ.
What's this going to be?
Lead pass. Roll.
Stop it! Stop it! You don't do him like that!
Goes to roll. Ran to the three-pointer out front.
Hit him! Yes, he did! Iguodala up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James! Trying not to use it. Curry way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life. Come down. Oh! Up high! Down hard! Is this the Tiger? Game! Series! Toronto is won!
Ooh, man, oh man, oh man. As of present, you getting nothing but Drayton, and more Drayton. And this is officially Off the Rim.
Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. Cause I'm tryna ball out. Come on if you bout it. But you better keep up. I'm not slowing down. I swear they gon' see us. Ain't no way around it.
SimWorld, 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 SimWorld.
It's a place where average Joe can work on his craft and grow. Say you the new magic, yo. Well, why you ain't passing, though? Better get you a basket, bro. Cause this ain't no Madden, no. This is real ball life from prep to pro. Kamal Park, this ain't no fashion show. It's the opportunity for you to be the one to shoot the three. In the clip, game on the line. They like, who is he? Must be the 2-3 or 2-4. The one twice. Coach saying do more. Scouts like that boy nice. Drive up the price. Push up the stock. Build up your name. Stir up the pot. Piss off the eye. As a player or a coach, here it is, dog. SimWorld, this is your shot.
Yo, yells.
SimWorld.
You know your boy gotta get some of this, right?
SimWorld.
Rick Blaze.
SimWorld.
Ladies love. Let's go.
I be on some ballers, trying to get my hands on a scholarship. Pretty young thing already knew my name, said she wanna try out on the scholarship. Hold up, let me PG it. Porn go past, but you know I'm gon' do it. Podcast facts, big Bob on the snacks, and you know I'm in my bag when March can't beat it. Baby, I be trippin' with my foes, tippin', shot out to the ballers. No bull like I'm pippin'. Rick Blaze hit 'em with the freestyle. SimWorld Hoops, man, them boys wild.
SimWorld, 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 SimWorld.
And then when their lead expanded, they turned into a highlight machine, except for the problem was there was no film in the camera.
What's that?
That's a swear jar. Every time someone swears, you put a quarter in it.
Who gets the money?
I don't know. We'll use it to buy something for the office, like a case of Bud Light or something.
Fucking awesome. You, Bob.
You, Jim.
Eric, I have a bag on line 3 for you.
Can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your pen?
Will the owner of a white station wagon please go yourself?
We're gonna go down there and we're gonna some ass. We're gonna some we're gonna do whatever we have to because we're gonna some
Poop.
Doesn't count.
Shut the up!
I am so proud of you mother suckers. Here.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
First live broadcast of the season for either one of these teams, SimWorld Latin America, with a heralded young kid on the team, Cristobal, I believe it is. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Cristobal Hogar, passing sensation. And then SimWorld Africa, Dara Storm, Edward Bwama, Jordan Kausu, and a host of other kids that are getting looks all across the country. I think we got another good one in store. Appreciate everyone staying tuned with us here, showing their support. Maestro, what are you looking for? I know the first thing that sticks out for me, but let me hear what you've got.
Well, I want to see how Africa comes out and plays this game because both of their games was a tale of two teams. In the first game, Edward Bawama, Kusov, Dara Storm, led in the scoring. We came back around. Hussein Al-Noor has a big showing out in the second game. Then so did Kusov and Dara Storm managed to stay in that sort of three-hole in terms of scoring for the team. So it seems like the team either switched strategies or took advantage of what was in front of them. I want to see how they're going to play this game. And on the other side, Yales with Latin America, I really want to see what Mario Martino is going to do. He's come out strong. Him and Pablo Guzman came out strong in both games with really strong scoring outputs. 12 and 14 for Martino and 10 and 17 for Guzman. But Cristobal Hogar is the man who seems to be filling up all the gaps for the scoring and everything else for Latin America. And like you, I am so excited to see what they're going to do. So what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the height difference. This Africa team is huge.
Yes.
They are huge across the board. I mean, you sit here, Dara Storm, 6'8". He's generally their primary ball handler. You got Idris Najam, 7'10", 7 foot. You never know what they're measuring people at on the African side of things. Hussein Al-Noor, Al-Haji Mo Osborne. Everyone on this team is 6'5" and up with the exception of Mbusu Mandela, who we got to see at Basketball Without Borders exhibition. This is a huge team. On the other side of Latin America, much smaller team across the board, with the exception of their two big men in the middle, Hans Pierre and Gil Ruiz. But they do have a lot of shooting.
Yes. Yes. And
that's something, that's something SimWorld Africa does not.
Right. And you know what? Across the table, let's just talk about it. Latin America managed to play defense. They're first on allowing 44.5 points a game, whereas Africa is second at 46.8 points a game. However, unfortunately for Africa, they're near the bottom in scoring per game at only 39.3 points. And then on the other side, looking at Latin America, they're not too far from the bottom at 25th at 55.5. It's just one of these things where they play great defense and it's not translating in the transition game to their offense. It's really amazing. And oh, by the way, on the height difference, you nailed it. There's a 2-inch average height difference across the table. And for those who don't understand how huge that is, imagine having a whole team of old school centers and power forwards against a team that has a bunch of ones and twos. And that's what we're looking at here.
I'm elbowing them in the gut. the ribs,
There you
and the
go.
lower back
My
every
man.
time. They're going to feel a forearm right there and decide what they want to do. That's just how I roll. Sorry.
Yeah, hey, look, hey, who you talking to? I live and die by the elbow.
Getting rid of the hand check and the forearm check. What are you talking about? Hassim Al-Nawar, though, 7 feet tall, knocking down a 3 there, and I know the scouts are loving that, Maestro.
Yeah, he's so fluid. And one thing I love about his game is he's just so fluid, and he does what needs to be done. Again, if you need scoring, he's going to give it for you. If you need defense, he's going to give it for you. If you need somebody to like melt the cheese for the Texas toast cheese sandwiches, he's going to give it for you. I mean, he just does what he needs to do.
Look at that. Can't get it to go. Beautiful finish there. Edward Boama on the follow, showing his athleticism. He's just a freak. But to talk about Nawar for a minute, Al-Nawar, again, whenever you make comparisons, people go crazy and say you're calling them the next. I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. But at this age, at this size, more athletic, less refined, there's a lot of Nikola Jokic in Hassan Al-Nawar. He's a great passer. He plays from the high post. He has a perimeter game. He can score in the post if he needs to. He's got great size. I'm sure these scouts are looking at that as well. I'm hearing we actually have some pro scouts in the building too who are getting a look at these international kids. Maestro, go ahead and cut me down if you need to.
I'm look, listen, you're on my shoulders, boo. I got you. I'm with you with that. My first measurement of any big, before I see anything else, I need to see 2 things. The first one is, how do they pass? How do they recognize floor presence? How do they recognize scheme and presence with their team? Do they know where the teammates are? Do they always have to look for them, or do they automatically know where their teams are in principles and then get the ball to them? The second thing I look for, how is that handled? Not in the open court, but in traffic if they need to. And he passed those tests for me.
Hey, fourth wall down for a minute. I hear what Maestro's saying. I hear he's talking about IQ. You guys not tuned in watching film here for the live streams, your IQ is going to be garbage. You're going to be pretty athletic and have some highlights, but when things need to happen most, probably not going to happen. IQ is the name of the game, Maestro. That's what I'm hearing you say.
100%. And you know, the players who perform at the top of their game are Kai Killen, CIA, Tony Henderson. You know your boy. Me and my boy always got to go at it with something. Those guys that are always in there. You know, they always have something. They always have questions. I love getting these messages from these guys. And by the way, you can holler at your boy Maestro if you want to hear a short about something. I'm gonna do my best to give it to you so I can help you, because if your game grows, guess what? I get spoiled, because it's like giving a Christmas present to myself. You know, even the coaches that work my nerves. I ain't gonna call this one coach name, but he's basically the labor force. He's always saying, you should do a short on this, you do a short on that. I'm telling him, block him again.
Maestro said tune in to the show. Guess what? You can give him a topic, but you got to be tuned in to know what the hell he's talking about. Alhaji Mo Osborne with the big time block there. For those in the chat, IQ tied to watching the stream. I think I've been saying it for almost a year and multiple times. Hey, if you don't listen, it's on you. It's on you. Done, son. Latin America trailing by 4 to SimWorld Africa as the athleticism has been on display here.
I appreciate you, Brandon Gaucher. I appreciate those words, my man. You know I love watching you do your thing.
Maestro's got friends out here.
Hey, man. None but the best, bro. I tell you, and listen, they make me better. Don't ever say, just like you make me better, so do they. When they ask me those questions, I got to go and do some research.
Like a Big Sean song. These bros be doing research. That's what you got to do here. Jordan Kalsu, I say it wrong every time. I apologize to the family. It's important to get the names right. He's got on some mean J's. This SimWorld Africa team, you know, they got rolling here. They play at the Olajuwon Sports Complex out in Nigeria, where Akeem Olajuwon donated and placed that facility in the area. They do a lot of their practices and playing there. But Michael Jordan throwing his name in the hat, sponsoring these jerseys for SimWorld Africa. The Jordan brand doing its international thing. Shout out to Michael Jordan. As if he needs it.
I know, right? But please, for everybody, know the history of the game. Know the sacrifice that Akeem Olajuwon did in order not only to play college ball but pro ball, and he still stayed in service to his country. And listen, if you can learn nothing from his footwork, then you need to go play, I don't know, volleyball.
You're talking about sacrifice. We just saw a sacrifice there. He sacrificed someone. Jordan Kalsu sacrificed the defender and said, "Hey, I'm putting you 6 feet." Nasir Saeed now with the ball working on the ISO in the corner. Well defended, but an even better shot there.
Yes, you know, that's the classic good on good. And guess what? My good was just about better than yours. That's what you want to see. That's what, you know, I'd rather see you do your best against somebody doing their best, and whoever wins, wins. And that's what it is. Can't say nothing else about it.
It's a tough finish there by Hagan. 6'1", 208, using his size well. Already getting some looks from Marquette. They could use the help at point guard.
Can you imagine him and his toughness at Marquette?
And a beautiful move there by Hans Pierre. Showing some post footwork.
I'm going to be a little speechless here for a minute. When you see the game flowing this well right now, strong defense as we saw in the first game, everything is being contested, players making plays, using, you know, the IQ at work, you know, very little bad spacing. Man, this is what the beautiful game is about. Oh, never give up on a play.
They call that goaltending.
That's okay. That's okay. You know what? Whatever. If I'm his coach, I'm giving him a dap and say, you keep doing that, because he didn't give up on the play. He was trailing, got beat, stayed with it, and you called it out earlier. The game, basketball is a game of runs, Yales, like you said, and sometimes runs happen when you score. Sometimes it happens in the play. Never give up. Always keep going.
Ref's doing the work like it's hammer time here. Africa holding on for the last shot. Busu Mandela. And they kick it over to Saeed again. Unable to get it to go. 15-14, end of the first quarter. Very good one here for both of these teams getting their first national exposure. We got more from both of them when we come back in a moment.
Lữ thương tiểu khổ. Lữ thương tiểu khổ.ว่าถอยเลยเหม่งมึงเหล่าสิว่าเลือดจำอย่าปากว่าเลือดจะเห่าแซ่เลือดแถวอ่ะว่าถอยเลือดเหม่งเกี่ยวว่าละมวยห่อนะอังโม่หรือปล่อยจะไม่ขอเที่ยวโม่กับก็ห่อนะว่าจ่อเซ็งแซ่ซาจับหัวมีไก่วงห้วย
我心着火，感觉热热。
All right, Maestro, like an acupuncture customer in a fire. These two teams going to have to figure something out. 15-14, neither team able to pull away so far. Seeing the athleticism on display, but the lack of shooting ability from SimWorld Africa. Seeing the great passing and shooting, but the lack of size on display for Latin America. Which one wins out?
Oh my goodness. So this is like you go out there to the backyard, you take the hose, leave it on for about 3 or 4 days, and then you guys start to fight. That's what this is. Who's going to be able to maintain themselves in terms of how do you keep the other team in the mud while you try to find a way out the mud? And if you want to go off athleticism, I might have to lean toward Africa just because of the size that they have a certain advantage if they get in the half-court game. But I am not going to count out Latin America for finding a way to get the ball up and down the court the way they do.
That was a big time pass there. Couldn't finish. Good contest by your guy, Mariano Martino. He goes up again. He's made some beautiful moves, but that link to SimWorld Africa, the athleticism and ability to contest has made everything hard for Latin America so far in this one.
I need to shout out to everybody. Henri Simpson said, "What would you do if you got all those needles stuck in you and you got to jump out a window?" Yeah, what you gonna do?
Excuse me, FCC. Man. Look, I'm a check down kind of guy. I go through my processes of what's gonna work, but there's no time to figure that one out. I'm probably jumping, and then we figure it out afterwards. I think that's what you're left with. I'm gonna go through the two options: stay in here and try and find a way out. Obviously, we couldn't move fast enough to get down the stairs in the first place, so I think I'm gonna be left with jumping and have to deal with the consequences afterwards. Big time 3 there. As I talk about Africa not being able to shoot from the perimeter, Ucha Okiki knocks it down, and apparently that's what he does well. And then Nasir Saeed says, "Don't bring juice." Maestro, you got this from this now.
To a gin party.
There you go. There you go. I tell you what, I'm a firm believer of not bringing gin to a party in the first place, because it makes me fight.
You must have been my Aunt Pearl, but she didn't drink gin. She just liked to fight.
Yeah, she was. Somebody was dropping gin in the juice.
You know what I'm saying?
Pablo Guzman knocks it down, coming off the screen on a great inbound play from Coach Gail De Leon. Guatemala in the house. Not a lot of Guatemalan basketball you hear about, but again, just another example of this game going global.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? There's a place, especially as I've been getting beat in by the SimWorld suits when they talk about programming and they say, "Maestro, you got to talk about positionless basketball. This ain't the 1830s no more." And I realized you have that conversation. There's room for everybody.
Maestro, we just saw Al Noor again there with a great pass from the perimeter to the interior. Such a willing passer. I'm a huge fan of his game.
Yes, same. He's just so smooth.
And then there he is on the glass. I mean, he literally does everything. Hard foul there by Akiyama Revalo on Ucha Okiki.
I think that was a make-a-point foul. Yeah, you might get the bucket, but you know what? You're gonna remember this bucket from the free throw line because you're not getting it right now.
Latin America hanging around in this one.
Yes, they are.
For those who thought this was just going to be a blowout, they are absolutely competing. But they are going to have to, in my opinion, they're going to have to play at this level all games just to keep it close. They have to play mistake-free basketball.
And they have to find a way to extend their spurts. Again, you called it out earlier. Basketball is a game of run. Latin America is a team of runs. They got to find a way, when they get on that heater, when they get on that run, they got to find a way to maintain it. Because that's what's going to give them the real opportunity here.
Good rebound. Oh, even better block.
Yes.
Give me Mo. Give me Mo, says Alhaji Mo Osborne on that block. Dude looks
Stay
like a
in
tank.
the play. Stay in the play. Don't give up. Don't give up. Listen to this.
Oh! Wow. Wow. Maestro.
I got the cheese. I got the cheese. You bring the crackers trick.
Oh my God. Juan Bazali. Guatemala City, Guatemala. As I talk about Guatemala, he says, shut your you know what up. Flying through the air. What a great finish there.
Yes, it was. I think the FAA is going to be reaching out because I don't think he actually called his departure or his landing. My goodness.
Four-point game, as you said, though, Maestro. They got to be able to build on this. It's a good finish. It's a good pass. Great follow and finish. 2-point game. After you get a dunk like that, though, and a putback like that, you got to build on that kind of momentum.
Yes,
it's got to lead the defense. We talk about defense leading the offense. Sometimes offense has to lead the more inspired defense.
Yes, and we got a great game here despite the difference in the sizes, as you so eloquently pointed out earlier there, Yales. We have the fact that both teams are 1 and 2 between offensive output and defensive stops. Both teams are floating in the 1 and 2, so that means technically, in a weird way, we're kind of looking at two of the better teams in SimWorld Prep right here. And as we see the game moving forward, my man Gilles is having to take a sip of water.
After that dunk, man, look, that dunk really it took something out of me. I wasn't expecting that out of Latin America. I expected a lot of tough defense and jump shooting, but that kind of athleticism, I'm a little shocked.
No, right?
No, a little shocked.
I'm gonna have to stop quoting Blaze and start quoting some B-Ron here in a minute. He just told you what to do right there, and he just said you're gonna like it. Love you, B-Ron. Love you, my dude. The most beautiful man in SimWorld.
Maestro's impersonations are so mad TV level. Oh my God. Maestro. Edward Wama going up for the shot, can't get it to go. 4-point lead still here from Africa. Latin America has been unable to close the gap here. Nice finish by Jeremias Cordero.
You know, yeah, the fact that Latin America is able to manage this the way they are, and look how they're selective, double teaming and doing that rotation, they understand that the height advantage does not matter. They need to, as long as they're active on defense and keep Africa out, they're going to have a chance. But if Africa makes those shots like that consistently, oh my goodness gracious, y'all.
Pablo Guzman working on guard Storm here. Great defense by guard Storm.
Oh yeah, look at that, hands on the ball. Oh, you gotta love it. Sour Storm is right there, hands on the ball. Too bad he couldn't make it pay, but that's why you stay in the play. Mario Martino, what did he do? Say, I got you, boo. Bam.
That was Miguel Ruiz there.
Oh, thank you.
I got you. Great pass inside. Great finish by Edward Wama. Heavy contest there. He was not concerned, able to finish that off either way. We got to pay some bills, Maestro. Everybody keep it locked. We will be back right after this.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Maestro.
Yes, sir. Get it.
And you see this pop up on the screen. What the hell?
Oh, come on.
What should be happening before this pop up on the screen?
Smashing that like. Smashing that subscribe. Smash, smash, smash. Comment. Share the world. Bring a friend. Bring her friend. Bring her friend.
Yes,
friend.
absolutely.
Bring the other friend. The green V-neck in the first row with the green hair. Bring it. Oh, I'm sorry. Basketball game and the feed. Yeah, that. I'm back. I'm back.
Lord.
I blacked out for a minute. I'm back.
Maestro be in these games seeing the V-necks. All I can imagine, Maestro, when you start talking like that, I can imagine in your head there's one sound, and that sound sounds like this. Aye. Oh, wowza, auga, auga.
Oh my goodness, get out my head! Get out my head!
Goodness. Pepe Le Pew much?
Yeah, boy.
We are in Barcelona.
There you go.
Pablo Guzman with a big shot there on the step back three. It's now a 2-point game. That was a big time bucket.
Yeah. This game is going to be about all those things that you preach about, that all of our other pros preach about, and that is who's going to make the first mistake that will be capitalized upon. If they're going to maintain this, Yells, it's going to be good all day.
Guzman with the ball. Cristobal Hogar, haven't said his name much today.
I know, right?
Not in this game, anyhow. There he is on the glass, though. Bad idea to go back up over the trees. He tries it, and he denies it. Akiyama Ravello, or excuse me, Juan Carlos now in the game out of Panama. Knocking it down. Those are his first points of the season. Maestro, let's talk a little halftime adjustment. What needs to go down here?
Africa's going to find that game. They need to find that game that they had early in the day. They need to find a way to make their defense help their offense pay off. Latin America is doing exactly what they need to do. They drug the taller, athletic Africa into a phone booth and making them fight a cobra. And they need to maintain that to give themselves a chance, because they have the ability, the one thing they're more consistent with, and that's to be able to pop down those threes. Africa's not far behind, but they can definitely make it happen.
Africa doing their thing in this one as well. Let's not forget, they are maintaining the lead in this one. Just a 1-point lead, 34-33. Guzman leading the way for Latin America. Al Noor showing off all of his versatility in the first half for SimWorld Africa. We got the second half to go and a championship. See you soon.
Look who's over there. He's walking.
So, what have I missed?
We're back, Maestro. Look, we're watching the live stream right there along with you guys. That's how y'all should feel every time you're not tuned in. So, what I missed? Everything! Every damn thing!
Everything!
My God!
Everything!
All of that baby's moves. Incredulous. Impregnable. Praise be to Allah.
That's right. Yells over here, Papa locking and twerking on top of the table.
I wasn't twerking, man. We're not going to say that. I was pop locking. I was absolutely pop locking.
Well, maybe I was twerking. I don't know. Maybe I was twerking, and I'm just trying to put the blame on you.
Out in the war with the ball here. Second half action here. Dara Storm has been well defended by the undersized Hogar. And there's a big-time finish. Edward Bouma again showing that he's got his flight pass, throwing it down. Those are the kind of dunks, Maestro, that make you weary if you're a defender.
Yes, because you did everything you were supposed to do, and one lane opened up, and help side did not come quick enough, and you just watched your guy's butt go right up your nose as he went to slam it down with violence on the rim.
Maestro, there's kids in the building. Doris Storm with the ball here, dropping it down to Al Noor. He's going to bring it back out to the three-point line. Ala Jokovic, he's making me look like a savant here, but he can't get the shot. Beautiful pass there from Hogarth. Cannot get it to finish. And look, Maestro, here's one of the things, another thing about these SimWorld prep tournaments I want to point out to all our viewers and anyone watching. A lot of times you watch these games, you're looking for the winner and loser. That's not what the scouts are looking for. They're looking for talents. A lot of times you see someone put up a shot, or you see it come off a great pass, or you see a defensive stop and everyone's looking again at the scoreboard. But guess what the scouts are looking at? The talent. That beautiful pass there by Hogarth. Just because the recipient did not convert and it doesn't lead to a stat in the stat book does not mean that the passing talent is not there. And that's what scouts and experts are looking at.
Exactly, and anybody who follows me knows that it's always not about the action at the end of a moment, but what gave us the action that led to that moment. And that particular pass, as you so eloquently pointed out, once again, I'm using the word with you a lot because you're just on point today, boss. The idea of if I pass the ball to your cheekbone and allow you the chance to grab it, he should not have had to turn. That's all it was. The pass was perfect. The reaction to the pass was not exactly on point and got him off platform and off balance. They're both going to realize that, and they're going to reset up their timing. Next thing you know, that play is going to start garnering points every single time.
As I'm looking here, as we see Miguel Ruiz miss another interior shot. Beautiful pass there from Noir. On one side, stats are going to absolutely show the skill set of a particular player in Hassan Al-Noor. 14 minutes, 9 points. I'm looking at this here. 5 assists from the big man. He's knocked down a 3. Those 9 points show the versatility. Those 5 assists show his passing ability, but also his teammates are converting. On the other side, we got Cristobal Hogarth, who we talked about, a great passer, one of the better passers in the world at this age, to be totally honest. 0 assists on the game as of right now. And that's not because he's not making the right pass. His team is struggling to convert.
There we go. Yeah, and if you saw the point differential at halftime was only 1 point, but the percentage difference was 8 points. That means Africa's getting off a lot more shots than Latin America, and Latin America is not capitalizing on the few shots that they're getting. And Yels, if I can bring everybody behind the scouting wall for 1 second, if you really want to see how a player is broken down, they'll take a look at those passes just like Yels said, and they're going to say which one should have turned into buckets if the other player would have executed. That's how you are truly scouted at the metadata level, because we have so many numbers now of how many points should have been garnered off a play, in a possession, off a pass, off of this, off of that. And that's how you look at now to know your productivity on the next level when somebody's looking at you. So never, ever, ever throw your hands up at your teammate. If you did your job, they have to do their job. And if they didn't do their job, you just encourage them to be better. And that's how you become a leader. That's how you become a great teammate.
I was watching a podcast, portions of it. I've never really tuned into it before, namely because of one of the people involved. Doesn't mean you can't learn something from everybody. Draymond Green and JJ Redick on podcasts, and they were talking about how many SWBA pros, Jordan Kasu, come fly with me, second one of the game.
My goodness.
He just doesn't want me to talk.
No.
I should. No, I won't. I'll be talking again. I'll be talking again. Draymond Green, JJ Redick talking about how many SWBA players there are that have made it to that level, but it's clear that they don't love the game. And quite simply, they talked about, hey, at the end of a game, stat sheets and numbers, you'll be able to look at that, and some people will say that's how you know that they don't love the game, because they had all the stats, but what did they not have? They did not have a winning mentality, and more importantly, they did not grow themselves. Another big shot there, this time by Doris Storm. J.J. Redick added on to the end of that and said, not just the wins and losses, but the improvement of their game. That's how you know if someone won, if someone is a winner.
Yes.
Their stats stay consistent, but did their skill set improve? That's how
And
you
their
know. And then they went on to
absolutely.
say only 85% of the pros probably love the game, and you can tell that
You can
at the end of the
absolutely tell.
season.
You can absolutely tell who's taking the check and who's what we call ROD or retired on duty as they collect that check and live that lifestyle. And oh, by the way, for like all my preppers out there, when you get substituted for and you put your head down and your shoulders slump, those are negatives in all the top scouts' books. If you get substituted for and you run over to the guy that's actually substituted for you and you give him a dap and say go get him and you start clapping and you cheer him just as hard as you are on the floor, those are extra bonus points. Trust me when I tell you, your approach to the game and how you approach your teammates means a lot in the scouting page when they talk about you. Because trust me when I tell you, if you come as a good teammate, you got a better chance than someone who might have the same amount of talent, but definitely is not a good teammate. Engage. That's all I'm going to say. Engage.
Engage. Engage. Son, do my Siege impression. Engagement. Engage. we both doing impressions today.
Let's get it.
Engagement. Engage. Speaking of engage, getting engaged, shout out everybody. Throw my man Siege a congratulatory message DM, and let's just do it live here. He is now engaged to his girl. Congratulations to the Siegester. My young boy is becoming a man.
Man, yes he is, and God bless him, and may they have a wonderful extended life together forever. Because I tell you something, I've never seen him look so happy. That is just, I tell you, that does a heart good. I'm not even gonna make fun of my man. That just does my heart. That did my heart so good to see that happen.
Siege is engaged. Cristobal Hogarth, unable to stop the larger offensive player there. And again, this is what they're expected to happen. We still have a quarter to go here, but the size and strength. Here's what happens. If you don't impose your will as a smaller player, guarding a bigger team, if you don't impose your will and break the will of the larger player, their size and physicality will break you physically before the end of the game. And I feel like that's what we're seeing right now, Maestro.
Absolutely one of the best pieces of advice I ever got from an offensive lineman who was teaching us wide receivers how to block. He said you can either be the bullet or you can be the target. If you're the bullet, you're going to do a lot better than just being the target. So if you're going to hit somebody, you hit somebody. Great steal there, and you're just going to go for it. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself being extra tired from getting hit on all game.
Warrior in the garden, huh?
Mm-hmm. You got it, boo. Love that quote, by the way.
SimWorld Latin America here with the chance to pull it to within 6 to close the quarter. Looks like they're trying to go to the mismatch down there. Hans Pierre, the big, almost 7-footer down there, does not get the ball. They're going to go screen here. Akiyama Revelo kicks it down, and Hogarth again.
Hogarth just said no.
A lot of him playing on the interior, but we could talk a little bit more about that after we come back from this break.
Yes, sir. Yo, it's your boy. Check out Talking Dirty with me so we can catch up on prep news and SimWorld sports. You know the deal. Holla at your boy. See the game? Be the game.
All right, Maestro. We got 1 quarter left. What does SimWorld Latin America have to do to get back in this game?
They need to find a way to get their shooting percentage to where it need be. Because right now they're trailing behind immensely in terms of their points per possession. They're almost a full 3/4 of a point behind where they normally are right now. So they need to not have moments like that where they're one and done. They need to make these possessions count into buckets. And Africa needs to just continue to build on what. See, I didn't even get. They did it. I don't have to say it. They need to continue on their size advantage, attacking to the rim, bringing Latin America to them in a point of disadvantage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If all I got over you is height, I'm gonna make it a game about height. That's what it is.
Look at my man Siege here in the chat. In the midst of a engagement honeymoon-esque environment, he's still able to find time to get engaged.
Well, we won't tell on him if you won't tell on him. So everybody keep it on the DL.
No one else has excuse. Anybody else getting engaged this weekend? Anyone else doing the honey-do list this weekend and still getting engaged? Here's the start of a run here. Juan Vazali, Guatemala in the house yet again. Africa looking to slow this game down, as you can see coach on the sideline telling that, and then they were able to speed it right on up there, get to the rack easily with no resistance.
Do not underestimate the power of change of pace. I'm running fast, I slow it down. I'm going slow, I skip 3 gears and go into high gear. Never underestimate. If you're able to do that, you are in control of a game on a level that not many people can deal with.
It's funny you bring that up. People see a lot of the ball handling. They see all kinds of, the pretty highlights of it. But that's what one of the most skilled, when I say one of the, I mean like top 3. It's most skilled players in all of basketball, in my opinion, does. That's Kyrie Irving. It's all about change of pace. It's not just highlight handles. He's getting someone off pace, off balance, and he learned all of that from one of my all-time faves. I used to watch him as a very young kid when my dad would watch ball, and I just kept saying to myself, how does he keep getting in the lane? Couldn't jump, wasn't fast, didn't have a jumper, but he was in the lane and he was finishing every single time. And his lips and eyes looked like he just finished smoking 2 full boxes of Cools, and that is Rod Strickland. And that's where Kyrie took all of his game from.
I knew you were going to say Rod Strickland as soon as you said he looked like it.
Cheese and rice. He stayed awake all night smoking as many packs of cigarettes as he could. But you know what they couldn't do? Was stop him from getting to the rim. And it was all about change of pace, change of direction. You're talking about Maestro. He was the foundation for Kyrie Irving. So shout out to both of those guys.
Yes, and Strickland always looked like he just finished a game of bid whist.
Isn't that's like spades, right?
It's like spades, except for it's a lot louder.
It's a lot louder. SimWorld Latin America looked like they were going to make a run here. The problem for them is that they cannot stop in any form, shape, or fashion SimWorld Africa on the other side. As SimWorld Africa is getting whatever shot they want. It's almost as if when they're missing shots, they're just choosing to take jumpers.
Yeah. And at this particular point, the only equalizer that Latin America has coming in the last 5 minutes of the game, don't live and die by the 3 yet, but you might want to come close to reserving a spot at the funeral home, because you can't let it get too much further. You can't let it get too much further.
Oh my God!
Be one and done, and that's where you got to stay in the play. Thank you for making me look smart.
I think Kasu may have tipped that in. Great hustle from Hogarth to force the activity there, and just to keep the ball active. But I think that was a SimWorld Africa player that tipped that in.
On goal. You saying an on goal here in Europe? When we're talking about football or soccer, as we call it in the States, it's an on goal.
What do you think about pickleball and tetherball, Maestro?
I have some really harsh feelings about it, but if it gets somebody, I'm just going to say it this way, and I don't mean to be rude, but if it gets people active who maybe weren't normally active before, if you don't have the legs for tennis and stuff like that, then I'm all for it. But what it has become, I have some really negative feelings about it, and I'm not proud of myself because I'm trying to be more open-minded. But it's kind of like watching professional cornhole. If you can hold a drink while you play it, I don't know if that's a sport.
I might actually have to get into this pickleball. If I can hold a drink while I play it, then I'm all in. It is that time in life. It is absolutely that time in life. What is it? Cricket over here in this side of the world.
Yeah.
What about cricket?
Yeah. Cricket is my game. You know, I grew up on cricket. Cricket is what led me to baseball. You know, really being blessed with having a family that was kind of all over the place. So my first sports were actually cricket and what we call soccer. And then I went from that to football, baseball, basketball, and the like. But I love cricket. Cricket is one of my favorite games of all time. I love watching it almost as much as I love watching rugby and Australian roots football.
Interesting. Very interesting. The rebound there, the height differential.
Yes.
Coming into play on the last 6-point game. It was down to just 4 here. The SimWorld Latin America was eating into this. Then Cristobal Hogart to the rack.
I love what he's doing.
From the elbow, which is just
I love what he's doing. Yeah, but I love what he's doing. He's finding a way, Yales. And oh, by the way, listen, dude, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to take some of these credits back I'm giving you. He's finding a way to do the thing that is, I'm going to say, strategically confusing for the defense. You're right. It's odd for him to work from the elbow, but guess what? I'm doing that. Why? Because it's something they haven't seen. They have to adjust to me now. And he's in control of it, and I love the aggression.
He's from Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. So, not that this is a homecoming of sorts, but I'm sure he's got a little tinge of saying, "Hey, this feels like home." 5-point game here.
Latin America's fine. They're right where they need to be. If anybody's feeling the pressure right now, it's Africa, because Africa is almost nearly a full point behind their regular offensive output for the day. So that means they're feeling it a little bit. Whatever Latin America is doing is actually working, and it's going to force the game for. Oh, Dar went for the steal there. You love his ability, but nobody rotated. Oh, make him pay! Make him pay!
Where was the help defense there?
Nowhere to be found. They took a break.
Word working inside now. Defended. Oh my goodness. Grip block by Juan Vazali. It looks like Latin America slipped into a zone here. And this may cause some problems for SimWorld Africa with 2 minutes to go.
It was so green V-neck on the sideline in the first row. Nice. I'm sorry. I mean, it was so nice to watch the reaction to the zone, because he actually had an open shot to the rim and he missed it because he saw the defense not being in their normal position, and it made him step back, and that's what allowed the defense to recover.
Now Africa in a zone, it looks like.
Interesting play. We know Latin America can shoot. How do you bust the zone? Weak side or strong shooting, just like that, played right into Latin America's hands. I really have to question that, Yale. I don't mean to do that. You know I don't. You know I'm not about that life. That really makes me question what just happened.
Pablo Guzman now with 22 points on the night. Africa can't get the 3 to go. They're being forced into the 3. Great rebound there. That one goes up and over the backboard. Latin America now with a chance to tie this thing up, possibly take the lead. Defensive strategies on both sides really coming into play in this game. Looks like somehow this is staying with Africa.
Interesting move. Do you think maybe it was a tap on the ball? I did not see anything.
Had to be another 3 goes up and another 3 does not go down. On the other end, SimWorld Africa putting it up. They've taken the lead.
Look at that.
Jeremias Cordova, Cuba in the building. Did not see this coming.
Whoa. Here we go. Here we go, Yale. Here we go.
It's going to be a battle of giving up the threes at this point. Tries it on the inside, unable to get it to go. Comes back Africa's way. Dara Storm. And now Noor is going to start over and reset. He's been a great facilitator for this team, working inside out. Passes it over the top to Edward Guama with a great athleticism. 4-point lead. Maestro, look who it took to get this team, the SimWorld Africa team, back set in a good spot and to facilitate and quarterback them to a good possession.
And we talk about this for 1 second. Can I preach for a minute? You saw the big Africa's offense looked like a freaking drive-through at a McDonald's right after the party let out, and you can tell where the lane was. And what did he do? He backed up, and he made everybody settle. And then because of that, guess what happened? Back doors open, alley-oop to Boama, boom, boom, pow. You have to appreciate a big that knows, fellas, take a break, take a breath, let's do what we do. Ace, that is a 5-star Maestro play right there. People are going to talk about the alley-oop, but what led to the alley-oop in that moment is what shows you what type of player our man is. And man, I got to tell you, it was beautiful to see.
Absolutely. What a game he's had. Edward Guama down the stretch here showing off athleticism. Dara Storm and Jordan Kelsey showing off some big playmaking clutch ability. And on the other side, Cristobal Hogar, Pablo Guzman, and Jeremiah Cordero showing off some clutch ability here. This game's not over. Under a minute to go. Just 4 minutes. Latin America with the ball. Let's see what happens here. Almost a backcourt. He had the presence of mind to catch it in the backcourt. There's a turn-away, step-away three. Not sure if that's what the play call was, but foul game's coming into play now. 30-second shot clock here in SimWorld Prep, so they have to play the foul game.
Yeah, and here is where Africa is going to have to show that IQ again, okay? You're not scoring where you're used to scoring. What you need to do is make yourself, there you go. Make them come and get you. Don't just catch the ball and wait. Make them chase you. Act like it's a game of it and you don't want to be it. Because that's seconds going off the clock that are going to pay off for you later.
Africa, as of now, looking like they may be headed to take on SimWorld Atlantis here in the title game of the Global Hoops Challenge.
Rematch.
Can you say rematch? What happened last time, Maestro?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna have this. Just gonna get this out the way right now. In that very last game, what do we see? We saw. First of all, Atlantis won it 71-50. And how did they win it?
You taking too long to say it, Maestro. It was a beatdown.
Yeah, but it's how the beatdown happened in terms of the scoring balance that went across the table for SimWorld Atlantis, because it happened according to, I'm just going to say this, according to their bigs from Johansson, LaFleur, and Jorgensen. Boom, 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 boom. Marcus Jorgensen, that is.
Let's
it just happened with.
Yeah,
I know.
This game's not over.
Wait, I went. I got to take my medicine. I'll be right back.
This game is not over. Guzman knocks down yet another three, and there's a foul. Dara Storm here. He can run this upward. If he does not convert, this could be once again a one-possession game. Gets the first one to go.
Yes. That's what they needed. They needed to calm down. They need to slow their heart rates just a little bit.
Gets the second one to go.
Is the bank open? Is that what just happened?
Coach is taking a timeout. I'm going to take a moment here myself. Let's get some more chats in the building. We've seen some more people check in, and some more people have checked out. Boo to you, but kudos to Kai Killings in the building. The prep superstar. One of the most engaged kids in all of SimWorld Prep. What's going on? Tony Henderson, Mr. Defense. Monte Parson. Shout out MP3 Gaming. I got you, man. We got Cyrus Jackson, Mr. Buckets, and Justin Zhang. Zhangalang. Mr. Zhangalang. We got Eric Jalen, one of SimWorld's finest. Israel Hannibal Lecter in the building. Coach Simpson, Benjamin Alexander. Coach Heesh, you do not suck. Change that name. Heesh don't suck. Heesh coaches and coach as well. Alfonso Pereira, shout out to you. Get ready. You got a big game coming up. Good sir. Maestro, I see you even in the chat. That's big stuff. Shout out Siege. Shout out everyone here. Title game coming up in just a moment. But
Brandon Gaucher. Who you with, Brandon?
It's Brendan, Maestro.
Brendan. I keep messing up my man's name. I owe him lunch, dinner, and a t-shirt.
My son chants your name for some reason. He thinks it's funny. So just letting you know, Brendan, he in this home for whatever reason. I often hear Brendan Gaucher. I don't know why. I don't know why. The kids are SimWorld fans. You guys got to be bigger fans than my kids, man. Make it happen.
Love it.
4-point game.
Here we go, Here we go.
Pablo Guzman with another 3. He's hit 4 threes in the last 2 minutes. It's a 1-point game, Maestro. The hell is going on?
Oh my
God. And Africa having problems
fans.
inbounding.
Listen to the fans.
I'm at a loss for words. The SimWorld Latin America team showing great heart right now.
I know. I got the chicken skin. The fans will give me the chicken skin.
The what?
That's goosebumps for all you northerners. In Mississippi, we call it chicken skin.
Oh, my God. When this is said and done, if he's able to get both of these to go regardless, this game can be tied up in one possession. We could be looking at overtime. Almawar does not get the second one to go. No timeouts for Latin America. We're going to see what happens here. I'm going to call it.
No pressure. Letting it walk up the court. Not a good move.
Pablo Guzman with the ball here. I'm assuming he's looking for a high screen. Dara Storm on the defense. Switches off to Jordan Casal. He's going to put it up. And he gets it to go! He gets it to go, Maestro! Game time! Latin America! They gave him too much room. He's been hot. Maestro, they're going to run off the court. We're going to run off the court with them. Title game coming up for SimWorld Latin America. Stay tuned here where anything can happen, folks.
When do I think about you? I'm never leaving cause I need you. And I still can't find the words to say how I feel about you inside. How I'm never gonna let you go, letting for you to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm in love and I just can't fight. This feeling that I'm feeling is killing me slowly. I need you to hold me. Without you near, I feel lonely. Console me and let me know that we're gonna be together forever. I want your love through every changing season. I want your love with the smile or with the tear. Cause I know besides love there is no reason that I always seem to need you near. I want you every time I see the sky, cause all I see are visions of your face. Without you in my life, I think I'd die. Your love and care could never ever be replaced. I want you when I'm roaming, even when I'm standing on the shore. I want you to be my one and only, and when you're gone, I want you even more than any price and gold. Even after the music ends, more than you will ever know. Unless you felt my love within, I don't know if I'll ever see the sun again or ever love again. All I know is that I want you, want you, want you. When do I dream about you? So many times I really need you. I cry cry, cause I can see you, then you made everything alright. In times when it's dark, girl, you are my light. And sometimes I feel so scared that I might lose you. I don't know what I'd do if you weren't there, so I keep you in my breast, yeah. 'Cause oh, Send this out to all of the H-Time. Showing love. Kool-Aid, Overdose, Chopaholics. Appreciate y'all, man. I want to thank the H-Time Riders and Bunsy with them. PDL. All of the H-Time, man. Player partners. R.A. myself, Ron Yale. Let's get it. Said I'm doing this here for all of my dogs. DJ Kool-Aid, Overdose, the Chopaholics. All of my partners and all the ballers hustling in the streets. And regardless of all the people that cross us and all the haters out there that try to rob us, they can't see that they will never stop us. Cause we got love from the whole city. Southside, Northside, why don't you stand up? I wanna thank y'all for showing me love. So put your flames up, keep drinking your cup. H-Town is the city where it all goes down. Eastside, Westside, why don't you stand up? I wanna thank y'all for blowing me up. So put your flames up, keep drinking your cup. H-Town is the city where it all goes down. It all go down right here, not a whole world like here. And you can see it so clear, we got it on lock this year. I almost shed a tear when I saw Pow Wow and Mike Jones, Slim Thug, Chameleon, and all of my niggas from home. Getting it, doing it big, not Houston the spot. And everything we drop hot, whether you like it or not. So you can ball or block us or knock us, but you can never stop us. It's the city of mono blocked up, drunk knock droppers and boppers and officers banging screw. Probably B's and Q's with a great cassette in the deck, yep. These is dudes that been paid. Now we're swinging in Escalades with our trunk raised. Banging maize, stacking chips like Lay's. Days looking brighter, still got me 25 lighters. Candy lag with a crack, black magic on my tires. I'm still blowing that fire cause it feels so good. I ain't wanna name one, I wanted to rip for all of the hood. So Southside, Northside, why don't you stand up? I wanna thank y'all for showing me love. So put your flames up, keep drinking your cup. H-Town is the city where it all goes down. Eastside, Westside, why don't you stand up? I wanna thank y'all for blowing me up. So put your flames up, keep drinking your cup. H-Town is the city where it all goes down. Yeah. Album in stores. The life of a porn star. Yep, yep. And I go by the name of Ron Yale. Hold me down H-Time. I love y'all. Southside, Northside, why don't you stand up? Stand up. Porn star.
We're back. What a finish to that last game. And now, after all the emotions, the adrenaline, Latin America has to come back out here and play another game against a team that has ran the gambit in their last two tournaments, Maestro.
My goodness gracious, yeah. Just like I said before, play the tape. You know what? It's not going to be a rematch. And I'm just playing. You know I said there's going to be a rematch. My goodness gracious, what something to see. Pablo Guzman bringing his team back almost single-handedly with 7 of 10 from three-point line and from behind the three-point arc. And most of that came in the second half there, Yale.
In the second half, it came in the last like 3 minutes of the game. Guzman went crazy. But here's the thing. We talked about it last, I believe, before we had the break there. Beautiful move. We talked about it in one of the last tournaments before our breaking tournaments. Does that adrenaline, does that rhythm carry into the next game, or do your legs get the best of you?
I'll tell you something. In this particular case, I'm going to say that adrenaline is going to carry them in here, and maybe in a way too much. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean they're going to have to find a way to slow down that heart rate just a little bit because Atlantis is very well rested, but you know that Latin America is fired up, right? So what do? Slow down the heart rate, stay with our game, and make sure that we can at least stay the storm early with Atlantis until we both all kind of settle out.
Lots at stake here. First televised games and tournament for Latin America. They're in the running, playing in the title game, trying to get their dance score up and make their claim to get to the last dance, as it has been beautifully renamed there. Is Crystal Ball Hogar finding his rhythm. I think that was a long two. But yeah, they have a lot at stake here, trying to lay their claim and get their score up for the last dance. On the other end, SimWorld Atlantis trying to prove that they are absolutely one of the best prep teams with some of the best talent, SimWorld prep talent in the world, and putting the Northern, I'm not going to let you do it, Maestro, putting the Northern Atlantic region on the map as a bed for basketball talent. I'm not letting you do it. Old girl in that green V-neck left anyway, Maestro.
Not today, devil. Not today, devil. Oh, love it.
Kendrick Jorgensen here, after knocking down that three just a moment ago, passes to his brother, can't get it to go. Another one of the brothers with the follow here. There's so many of them.
I know, right?
There's so many brothers. We ever heard that before?
Love it. Love it.
There's too many brothers in here.
I absolutely love it. And oh, by the way, oh my goodness gracious, no help side quick enough, and look at what happens. Make you pay, boo, make you pay.
Juan Vazali, after hitting 5 threes in the final 3 or so minutes of the game, I'm sure the coaches and SimWorld Atlantis is seeing that. They're pressing up on him, allowing him the ability to go right by him as they try and press on the perimeter.
You know, and I'm just going to give a shout out here. I noticed that from SimWorld Africa, Edward Boama was giving himself the heat, being a great teammate, saying that, you know, he felt like the loss was on him. He didn't defend well enough and everything else. I'm just going to say that game was what it was supposed to be. It was two teams going at each other the way that they're supposed to go at each other. And you know, Yales, you know, I'm not the guy to call people out because that's not what I'm doing here, so please don't take it that way. But the reality of it was this. What happened in those last minutes, what did I say? Don't let them walk the ball up the court. The press should have come early. I don't know if that was a miscue. I don't know if something happened. But those extra seconds matter. And Latin America was able to bring the ball up the way they were. And then, there, of course, there's a switch from Dara Storm to a shorter defender. Next thing you know, the three goes up, and boom, that's game. It's seconds matter, and that's why Yale says stay in the game until it's absolutely over and the dirt's on the coffin. Otherwise, you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Definitely looked like there was some miscommunication there on that defensive effort, and then even the switch. If you're going to switch that, which is fine, that's what you do against a great shooter. If you're going to switch that, you don't give them any room. Not a whole lot of room there, but to your point, Maestro, no need to hang your head if you're Edward Blama, Dara Storm, Jordan Kasu, anyone else on that team. Even the coaching, somebody has to win, someone has to lose, and sometimes big shots were made. Pablo Guzman hit one of the biggest shots in this tournament so far. But as of right now, Zeke LaFleur is saying, hey, I got game. Let me show you what I did last game. Let me show you what I did last tournament. If you're looking for a young man with post-game, hoping I can still grow into my body and that I can play at the SimWorld U level, Zeke LaFleur, I'm your man. You want post presence? I'm him.
Yes, he is. They're just straight up in power. And oh, by the way, yes, I'm gonna say this right quick because I'm giving you flowers early in this game too. That was a great shot, not a good shot, a great shot at the end of that game. And sometimes your best, their best, means somebody's gonna make it and somebody's not, and that's what happened there. So please, no heads hung low.
Beautiful finish. And look, early on in this one, I'm telling you, Latin America seems to have found their footing offensively. They look confident so far in this one, much more than they did last game, but also they were battling great athleticism and length against SimWorld Africa. Looks like a better matchup for them so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh, by the way, what happens, that's one of the reasons that I love that those suits back at SimWorld Corporate, those guys sitting around that big oak table, they all smell like Old Spice, but those guys.
God, Maestro.
But all those guys back there, when they reset the prep tournaments to the weekend, we're watching development happen during the games and in the games during the day, and I'm here for every second of it.
Good contest there, Hogar. Unable to get it to go, but great steal there. Top of the key Ruiz kicking it over now to Hogar again with a beautiful pass out. Unable to corral it, but he does pull it in. As you say, off platform, unable to shoot, but that was a beautiful pass.
Yes,
Zipped it right on over.
Yes, it was. And it needed to be that type of pass. It needed to be a quick zip. It could not be a changeup because of how quickly we see Atlantis' defense recover.
That was a beautiful pass.
My goodness.
Beautiful pass from Kendrick Jorgensen there. I think that was LaFleur again on the finish.
Can we talk about IQ for a second, Yells? You watch You watch the double team happen. If I'm Ezekiel Ford, I watch the double team happen. I take a step away from all the bodies, which means I'm stepping to the inbound line. I wait for my man to rotate to watch for the next rotation. I cut to the basket right away. My teammate sees me. There goes that great pass. There goes that great finish. That is how you play the game. Sometimes you have to step back to step forward. Oh, my goodness.
No
that was the email that was
Kendrick.
No, that was
steps back. GNX Kendrick Jorgensen knocking it down from deep.
He made that call with a satellite phone.
8-point lead here for Latin America. Is in danger of getting out of hand quickly. Knocks down the shot here. Coach is going to call a timeout. Marcus Jorgensen there. Maestro.
Marcus.
What's happening here? 10-point lead to start this.
Atlantis has found their footing early. I think in some ways, again, Latin America is doing what? They're coming down off the high from the last game. They're not playing poorly. It's just that Atlantis is executing early, which I'm going to tell you something, Yells. They really needed to do, because if they would give any sort of early life to Latin America, not saying that Latin America's out of it, we know that already, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. But if Latin America had any life here early, we know what it was going to turn into, right? It's going to turn into an octopus cobra fight in a phone booth in a Walmart. And you know that won't be over until it's over. So Atlantis is doing what they're supposed to do. They're making it count early, and they need to maintain this in order to keep Latin America from getting comfortable. Because once Latin America gets comfortable, they've showed us today, as you pointed out, again, more flowers to you, as you pointed out, they found their offensive footing and they found their timing.
10-point game here. Hogar with the ball here as this interesting lineup here by Coach Kusa, who seemingly shifted all of his starters to the bench to get more exposure for his players, and now his starters coming onto the court to play against, I guess you could call it the second unit here.
Is this about legs for later, Yale, you think?
I think it's about getting his players some exposure. I think it's also about matchups. I know a lot of these coaches at the prep level, that's the difference between being a collegiate coach and a pro level coach, is understanding matchups. Understanding,
great point.
Like that last game we just saw before I even make this point. There's something to be said with maybe you would have wanted a different defender, maybe one of your big men guarding who's seemingly the hottest shooter on that last play, just to contest. The matchups defensively, the matchups on the court right now, I think Coach K understands matching up. You try and find the advantage. That's why we see the high pick and roll so prevalent at the SWBA level right now. Not because everyone's just a straight up baller, but it's to get that switch and get the matchup that you want. So, game of matchups. I think Coach K, that's why he's being looked at by the other levels. Great play by him. His team's leading right now. They are in command. Stay with us. We got more SimWorld prep action coming up right after this.